Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is PSBL. Week 11. We have the Charlotte Beach Girls taking on the Indianapolis Infernapes. I'm gonna pause it. Oh, no, never mind. I'm not gonna pause it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I thought I messed up a little bit, but I didn't. I did not press the wrong button. Anyway, this is a very important battle, especially since GV Center did lose. Both these teams were right behind GV Center in the standings, but now they are the top two in their division, which is surprising because 6-5, 4-7 does not scream first place in a division. But anyway, this is a battle for first place in the division, basically securing second seed if with the winner. I mean, not locking it in shot, but it's still a pretty close race. But anyway, I want to get this done really quickly. Starting off was Scarf Latias. I do believe it was Scarf. I was talking to Polly. I think he's kept it as Scarf. I don't really remember at the top of my head. Killing Pincer with a Hidden Power Rock to start things off. Then Charlotte put in the Weavile, goes for Pursuit as Lottie does try to switch out, and does in fact take it out. Then a few switches here and there. Huntail does come in with Incineroar as well. Huntail just goes for a Hydro Pump, is able to take out the Terrakion, Incineroar, excuse me. But then Terrakion does come out a few turns later and close combats about 4 times in a row, taking out the Huntail and the Garchomp as well. Very nice play by the Beardrill's part. Throwing in Weavile. Actually, it was a kind of interesting part. I don't know why he didn't just go into Garchomp to begin with, because he lived with close combat very easily. But he threw Weavile in, switched out into Garchomp as a close combat did happen. Maybe he was trying to bait the close combat so he would actually stay in. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. But anyway, with rough skin damage does bring Terrakion down to about 35%, with minus like 33 defense. Well, 33% I think it is, I don't remember. But anyway, Weavile comes in, then goes for an Ice Shard, taking out the Terrakion, and that just allows Blissey type Null to just wall the rest of his team. A lot of just switching, trying to get to forcing type Null to get 2 of the last 3 kills. Just a whole bunch of switching out into Blissey to Wish Up, right back out into type Null, although Blissey could have literally just swept through the rest of the team. And whatever. Type Null does get the kill over Manectric with Hidden Power, I don't know, and Type Null, probably Hidden Power Ice, probably for the Gligar. But then Type Null kills Greninja with U-turn, and Weavile comes in, goes for an Ice Crash on Gligar, and takes it out. That's basically it. So, yeah, see you guys in the next battle. Alright guys, so now we have the second battle of week 11. We have the Uprising Flygons taking on the Rocky Mountain Lycanrocs. And pretty interesting battle. Like, as you can see, there was somebody that dominated a little bit. Okay. And when I say dominated, I meant the Regirock, not the Flygons. I thought this was actually a pretty close battle. One play I didn't agree with Lycanrocs, but I'm always going to disagree with something. But let's get right into this battle where we have turn 1. Emboar, which actually I thought, in my opinion, put in a lot of work against the Lycanroc's team, goes for a superpower turn 1 on the Mega Garchomp that was in there. And obviously Garchomp lives it and goes for an Earthquake and kills Emboar turn 1. Honestly, in my opinion, I did not agree with that. I thought the Earthquake was pretty obvious. But then again, looking at the Flygons team as a whole for like the first time, yeah, he didn't really have a switch and he didn't really have a choice. So actually, I agree with that play. But anyway, a few turns of just back and wait. Who did he go out into? Yeah, a few turns of just back and forth, just trying to get something, something for somebody. We had Scizor coming in on a Napoleon, goes for a Swords Dance on a Scald, does get the burn on the Scizor, unfortunately, and that just allows Regirock to come in. And Regirock, as you can see, was just a total monster. Regirock came in on the burnt Scizor at +2. Scizor did go up to +3, and then died to a Fire Punch from the Regirock. Then Dugtrio came out. Now, Dugtrio went for an Earthquake, only did about 40%, I think maximum 40. And Regirock goes for an Ice Punch and actually did get the freeze, which really helped the Regirock, definitely. So then The second Ice Punch is able to kill the Dugtrio. And then Guard Jump came out, and this is what I don't really agree with. Guard Jump goes for an Earthquake, not able to take out the Regirock, and then switched out into Arcanine. And honestly, in my opinion, this is where Rocky did lose the battle, as when he did switch into Arcanine, Arcanine did get frozen with an Ice Punch, which allowed the Regirock to go for Stealth Rocks, not Stealth Rocks, Stone Edge, and take out the Arcanine. So it's already 5 mons to 4? It's 3, excuse me. I can't count. But that means that Garchomp was able to come in and take out the Regirock with Earthquake, but after a couple rocks damage and taking an Ice Punch too, and a superpower, I was surprised Garchomp actually was living that much. Scolipede was able to come in and go for an X-Scissor and take out the Mega Garchomp. And then I thought that, hey, Scolipede looks like he might be able to sweep, especially if it has like Rock Slide or something like that. So then Clefable came in. And obvious Poison Jab comes out, not able to pick up the kill on Clefable, so then I was thinking for a split second, what's Clefable gonna do? And then I forgot I mock battled him, and I forgot, hey, he went for counter. Clefable went for counter and took out this Scolipede. Now the only thing about that is, now Clefable's at about 20-25% and is not taking 1,000 arrows from a Zygarde the very next turn, taking out the Clefable, and now we're left with 3 versus 1. And this Thundurus was pretty cancerous, to say the least. It was Toxic Discharge. Did that discharge? No, it never showed discharge. I'm sorry. I don't know where I got discharge from. It basically only used Sub, Toxic, and Protect. I don't know what the last move was. I can only imagine it was Hidden Power Ice for the Zygarde, just so I can hit it there. But it really could have been anything. I really have no idea. But anyway, it took a while for Electivire to finally break through the Sub, break through Protect, break through the Toxic, and finally kill the Thundurus with Ice Punch. All in all, this took 26 turns. I'd say the MVP of both teams would definitely be the Mega Garchomp with the 2 kills, especially turn 1 and against the annoying Regirock, which would be the other MVP for the other team. With that, we have the Flygons now 10-1. I think they clinched playoffs. I think they clinched playoffs a little while ago too. But anyway, they are 10-1. They are number 1 in the whole league. We have the Lycanrocs fall to 5-6, still fighting for that the somewhere in between. I think 3rd now. They're still fighting for 3rd. That's crazy. Just a huge jump. First is 10-1. I think 3rd is like 6-5. I think that's the Beatros right now. And yeah, that's just incredible, man. The Flygons do face the Magikarps next, and the Lycanrocs face against the Tentacools next. Both of them actually do seem like pretty good matchups, especially the Lycanrocs and the Tentacools. Looking forward to that. But anyway, that is it for this battle. I will see you guys for the next. Alright, so now we have the Edmonton Coilers taking on the Gainesville Goodras in a pretty good matchup. I always enjoy watching these two fight. It's always fun to watch, and this one definitely did not live. It did live up to expectations. We started off the battle with, we started off the killing with Crook taking out Aerodactyl with knockoff. Unfortunately for Lucy, he unfortunately missed the Ice Fang, which would have done a lot of damage to Crocodile, and Crocodile just killed it with knockoff, which was very unfortunate. Did get a boost in Moxie, but that also allowed Kecleon to come in. Not necessarily right after. I think there was a few turns afterwards. But Kecleon did come in, scared off Finny with Thunder Punch and everything, and switched out into Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn got killed by a Fire Punch to give Kecleon the first kill of the season for him. I believe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. But anyway, before Ferrothorn could die to Fire Punch, it did set up rocks, and then Crocodile came in right after Ferrothorn died, went for a pursuit, and left Kecleon at 8%. Kecleon came back out, died to rocks, unfortunately, which gave Ferrothorn the kill for him. Magmortar came in eventually afterwards, and eventually whittled down Reuniclus, where a flamethrower was able to knock it out, but that did allow Azumarill to come in, take out Magmortar with Aqua Jet, and then a few turns later, Meloetta actually took down Tangrowth with Focus Blast. Alakazam, no, excuse me. Right after that, Azumarill took down Meloetta with Aqua Jet again, so that's the second kill for Azumarill. But then Alakazam came out, killed with a Psychic, but that just left Magneton left against Alakazam, Crocodile, and Finny. Obviously, not a really good matchup. Was able to kill off the Alakazam though, but did die to the Crooks Magneton. All in all, this thing did take about 4 turns, and we can see that the next opponent for the Coilers is the Beedrills, and for the Goodras, it is going to be the Infernapes. 2 very good battles going on. I'm actually really looking forward to the Coilers and Beedrills. Hopefully that Lucy can break down that Cancer's team. Anyway, here's the next match. Alrighty, so we have another battle today that happened. We have the Dallas Dragons taking on the Reading Rapidashes. And this was actually a pretty quick battle. This one was only 19 turns, but it was still pretty entertaining. We have the Rhyperior setting up, which is very nice. I forgot who he was setting up on, but he set up nonetheless. As Zapdos did switch in, a Stone Edge came out, destroying the Zapdos really quickly. But then Ninetales came out, and it looked like the Rhyperior had it in the bag. But unfortunately, as I burp, the Ninetales was in fact Scarf and did kill the Rhyperior with Blizzard. Or else I actually thought that the Rhyperior was going to be able to just sweep through the team. But unfortunately for him, it did not. Staraptor came out. Very scary indeed. I do believe it was Bandit or Life Orb, I don't really remember. But anyway, it came out, got poisoned by Muck as it went for, I think, Brave Bird, and unfortunately died to the poison, giving Muck the first kill of the game for him. And that allowed Volcanion to come in much later into the game. Well, not much later because it was only 19 turns, but later down in the game. Volcanion did come in, go for a, what was it called? Bug Buzz? No, not Bug Buzz. Quiver Dance, allowing Volcanion to set up a little bit and kill the Milotic with Bloom Doom, also taking out Raikou with Flamethrower. And unfortunately, I thought it was going to be able to sweep, but Suck actually did live a Flamethrower, I do believe it was Flamethrower, and killed the Volcanion. Have we been saying Volcanion the entire time? I meant Volcarona. Wow, that one was really bad. Volcarona. And did kill Volcarona with EQ, but unfortunately that Flamethrower did in fact burn Sock, which did kill Sock in the process. So that basically left Whimsicott versus Muck, Ambipom, and Ninetales and Suicune. Not a good matchup for you, especially if one is Scarfed and the other is a Poison. Muck did, in fact, take up his second kill of the game with Poison Jab. Next battle for the Dragons is the Boufflons. As you can see, our record is DQ'd. He did leave the league, so unfortunately being a disqualification. But we also found it unfair if the remainder of the teams did in fact get a win. So yeah, that's that. And the Rapidashes do face against Legal Ice Scores next week. Still trying to find playoff position. Alright, on to the next one. Alrighty, so we have yet another battle. All of them was, what was yesterday? Sunday, yeah, Sunday. That's when all these last 3 battles were. This time we have the Heracross versus the Starmies. Very one-sided affair, I do believe. No, well, I don't believe it was one-sided. Obviously, as you can see, it was a 5-0 in favor of the Heracross, and it was just total annihilation because of just one mon. It was something that you would not be predicting at all. It was Ludicolo, set up Rain Dance with Excelgor with Damprock, was able to take out Leavanny with Ice Beam, was able to outspeed Scarfed Leavanny, which that's messed up Chris. That messed up with Chris a lot. So until Leavanny died, and then the Crosswind came up, thought he would have been able to live a Scald very easily and Calm Mind, but that was not the case. 2 Scalds was able to take it out. Same with Jerrypion, 2 Scalds were able to take that out. And then Hippowdon came in, A couple turns later, Ludicolo came back in, went for Giga Drain, and took out the Hippowdon. But I don't know why Cody didn't switch out, because the next turn Extrial came in with the stand up and just killed Ludicolo. Ludicolo would have been able to win easily if just switched out into something, but anyway, Extrial got the only kill for the Starmies, but that did mean that Excelgor was able to come in, go for a Rain Dance, making the Extrial basically not useless, but less effective in the rain. And also Chandelure can't do his stab, which allows Mence to Earthquake twice and win the game. And that's basically it. Definitely the MVPs for this battle is the Ludicolo and the Excadrill. That will do it for me as far as right now, but it is only Monday, so see you guys later. Okay guys, this time we have the inglorious Gliscors taking on the Miami Magikarps. If Miami wins, he is still fighting for the playoff spot, but if he loses, he is out. Do or do not. There is no try. This was a very interesting battle, and obviously, as you guys can see, there are 3 zeros over to the Gliscor side, and there are a bunch of 1s on the Magikarp side. So unfortunately, he did not make it to PSBL Season 3 playoffs. But the Gliscors are still fighting, still hanging on, because he still, at 7-4, has a chance to not make playoffs. It is a tight race in the Sun Conference, tight race indeed, and we will see when we get to the document. But anyway, we started off this battle with Gardevoir one-shotting Gliscor with Hidden Power Ice. But unfortunately, that did mean that the Gardevoir did die to its own Life Orb damage. A couple turns later, we had Kyurem in, going for an Ice Beam. Two-shot the Skuntank with Ice Beam. A few turns after that, Tyranitar came in with Victini already in, went for a pursuit, and knocked out the Victini. The very next turn, Gyarados, Steelium Z, was able to knock out the Tyranitar. Magnezone was able to come out, predicted the switch out into Nidoqueen, and Nidoqueen died to 2 Hidden Power Ices. Nice prediction there by the Gliscors. Mesprit from a while back finally died to the Toxic that came from Skuntank, giving Skuntank the first kill of his season. But that did allow Lucario to come in and kill Conkeldurr with an E-Speed. Indeed. Lucario then lived a waterfall, I believe, and then killed Gyarados with counter, making me think that it was Sashed Lucario. All in all, this only happened in 17 turns. When I saw the Gliscor go down, probably the most defensive mon in the Gliscor's teams, I did think that the Gliscors were going to be able to lose this battle. But luckily, they were able to hold on and win. Indeed they did. Indeed they did. I do apologize for these really bad pictures right here. I know they're not everyone's favorite, especially in something as definitely serious as these, but I was very lazy. You know me, I'm lazy. But anyway, another battle is yet to come. Okay, so we're almost to the end of the week. Right now we have the Quebec Ninetales versus the Twente Tentacles, and my oh my, the Sun Conference is looking hot right now. It is just looking really good. A lot of teams are at 7-4. It is just looking fantastic. I think after this one, there's only one battle left. There will be a couple disqualifications this week, but anyway, very exciting end of the season. Just got 2 weeks left. Wow. Ignore that. I do apologize about that. There we go. So we should not have to get that again. But anyway, let me pull up what happened during this battle. I have it right here in the corner for myself. You guys cannot see it. We started off this killing with Volcanion killing Slowbro with Inferno Overdrive. I myself was a little shocked by this. I think it was Slowbro was a little bit over half. Yes, I know Slowbro's special defense isn't that great, but I was still surprised about that. That happened about turn 7. Turn 8, Volcanion did in fact die from Slowbro's Toxic. I think it even lived a hit from Landers. I don't know, X-Cloud, excuse me. I'm not entirely sure about that, but anyway, a couple turns later, why did I say, who's Code? COD. I think I meant Cuff Egregious. But anyway, Landers did take out Cuff Egregious with Knockoff. So Cuff Egregious did in fact die. X-Cloud was able to take out Landers with a Boom Burst. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Landers did not get a kill. Coperius did not get a kill, and neither did Infernape. So yeah, there's that. So let me. Wow. Oh my. But anyway, X-Cloud did take out Landers with Boom Burst. That was turn 14. But that was actually a very important turn for Tentacools, because it turned out that X-Cloud was scarfed. So a knockoff actually occurred because Lando was scarfed as well, getting rid of X-Cloud's Choice Scarf, which in my opinion was a big deal. A couple turns later, exactly 3 turns later, excuse me, no, yeah, 3 turns later, Beedrill was able to take out X-Cloud with a Poison Jab. Another 3 turns later, and this is where the end happens. Superior did take out Druddigon with a Dragon Pulse, but that did allow Beedrill to come in with Superior, Slurpuff, and Infernape all in a row. Lined them up. Superior with Poison Jab, Slurpuff with Drill Run, and Infernape with Drill Run as well, giving Beedrill 4 kills in a game, 3 in a row in 3 turns, 23 turns in the battle. And that is the match. So now we have both of these two at 7 and 4. Alright, on to the last battle. Alright, I'm doing this voice again for possibly... Actually, no, it is the last battle of Week 10. And we have the Pittsburgh Reggie Steelers taking on the Buffalo Buffalons. And congratulations to Byron for beating me in a league battle for the first time. I knew that he was going to be able to do it sooner or later. I really just got lucky facing him the last 4 times. I don't know. It was really just pure luck that I beat him those 4 times. And of course he's going to beat me soon. But anyway, we started off this battle with Delmise taking out Rotom with Rock Slide at turn 10. But however, turn 14, Delmise did die to a burn from the said Rotom, so they basically just traded kills there. Turn 15, Lopunny was actually very low health, did die to Mamoswine's Ice Shard. A lot of turns happened later, well, not a lot, but about 7. Piloswine did take out Zero Aura with EQ, tying it back up at 4 apiece. However, Tornadus did take out Jellicent with Supersonic Psystrike at turn 26. Piloswine did die to Poison from the Miltank at 33. Miltank then also took out Minior with Ice Punch at 35. That just left Venusaur. Venusaur versus the world, and actually it did do quite a bit of damage. Venusaur did take out Miltank and Tornadus with Sludge Bomb at turn 41 and 44 respectively, before finally dying to Mammo's Icicle Crash at turn 45, and yeah, I just had a really bad brain fart right there. But anyway, that is it for week 11. 10. 11 was next week. We did have a couple DQs, but I'll talk about that at the document in 1 second. Alright guys, this is my top 5 plays of week 10, and I know Lucy usually does this, but I wanted to do this myself 1 week. See who you guys prefer. If it was Lucy, then let's go back to Lucy next week. If it's me, then you're stuck with me. But anyway, I have number 5. It is Hubie versus Gamer Geeko. The Dallas Dragons versus the Reading Rapidashes. To paint the scene, we have Muck in against Whimsicott, and you would think that Rhyperior is a good move, and Hubie thought so as well. So he goes in for a Focus Punch on the switch into Rhyperior, but that is not the top play, as it only does half, allowing Rhyperior to get the boost, switches out into Zapdos, and then does the Rock Polish, which does mean that the Stone Edge does in fact take out the Zapdos. Great move by Gamer Geeko, and you would think that he would be able to win, but I'm also counting this as number 5, but because of prep, Scarfed Ninetales is able to take out Rhyperior, and that is your 5th play this week. For my number 4 spot, I have Rocky Mountain Lycrocs taking on the Uprising Flygons. And just paint the scene, we just got rid of the Regirockos going through Rock Hands' team. Garchomp was able to put an end to that, but now Scolipede will be putting an end to the rest of the team, it looks like. Why is that not going? Anyway, Axis is able to take out Garchomp, and you would think that you'd be able to take out the last 2 Mons as well. Clefable comes in. You're thinking a Poison Jab would come out. It does, able to live, and a counter comes out by Clefable, taking out the Scolipede. The only reason why that is number 4 instead of higher is because it really didn't matter much. Zygarde was able to come out and sweep with the rest of the team. For the number 3 play, we have the Indianapolis Infernape taking on the Charlotte Beedrills. And for to paint the scene, we just have Pinsir coming in on rocks from Gligar as he decides to throw up his own rocks on the U-turn out into Latias. And you would think that a bug move would be able to destroy Latias, but Scarfed Hidden Power Rock is able to take him out as Weavile comes out as well. And we are not done with this battle, as we will come back to this one later as we go to number. Alright, now we have the Holland Heracross taking on the Philadelphia Starmie. To paint the scene, we just saw a risky play by Cody to stay in with Mega Manectric on a Hippowdon. Going for a Hidden Power Ice, now decides to, as we press play, switch out into Excelgor as a Slack Off does incur. And here is the second play of the week, going for a Rain Dance, which allows the Ludicolo to come out and sweep. Do a mini sweep of 4 Mons with the Ludicolo in Swift Swim, allowing the Devil's Crime to wonder what the hell happened. As we did see 3 kills here, and Ludicolo did pick up another kill later on in the game, giving him the 2nd of the week. And for the number 1 play of the week, in my opinion, we do have Terrakion that looks like he would be able to sweep through the Charlotte Beedrills team. Wow, why am I not be able to talk right now? It looks like you'd be able to sweep through it with a Scarfed Terrakion, and we have Terrakion in against Blissey at the moment, looking like he's going to be able to sweep, switches out into one Smashy Boy to take the close combat, and then he decides to switch out into Weavile, switches back out into Garchomp so that he can take not only rocky helmet damage or rough skin damage, but also goes down to not only once, but twice as well, going down to .4 the defense, allowing Weavile to come in and get the second kill of the week for Weavile, giving you the top play of the week. And here we are for the document recaps, and as you can see, we have 3 new disqualifications 2 weeks in a row for each of these members. Technically 3 for Bryce, but I let it slide for one of the weeks. And they all got disqualified, which is very unfortunate. I don't know why, but whatever. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, we do have a lot of... we'll talk about that later. But anyway, we do have a lot of 7-4s. Look at this. We had 5 7-4 teams in the Sun Conference and 0 over in the Moon Conference. Going into the Sun versus Moon final 2 weeks of the season. A very close race. Differential of 12 differential points separating these 5 teams, which is very, very close. Or is it 6? Excuse me, I cannot count. Oh my gosh, 6 teams. And Gudras is sitting on top with 9-2. Over to the Moon Conference, it is still wide open, especially with 3 teams separated by differential. Yeah, it's a big differential, but there's still 2 weeks left in the season, and anything can really happen. We also have, look at this. We also have a bye weeker at 4th. We also have Lycan Rocks and the Heracross fighting for the spot to face against Arcanines, I guess. Basically, whoever loses facing against the Arcanines, whoever wins this race between these two is going to be facing against the Infernapes or Rabidashes or Starmies. Let's go off to the playoff hopes, as we do have a couple more outs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outs now. The Illusions, Magikarps, 6 outs, Illusions, Magikarps, Kartanas, Dragons, Spindas, and Royals. All of these 3 have been disqualified, so that's where we're at right now. If it ended right now, we would see the Metagross versus the Tentacles, Registealers versus the Coilers, Arcanines versus Lycanrocs, and Infernapes versus the Heracross. We still have Ninetales, Redding Rapidash, and the Philadelphia Starmies still within playoff reach. Let's go to the league leaders right now. We'll go to the defensive league, the kill death, where we do have Garchomp and Volcanion, both of them at 3. We have 3.2 with Azumarill. Celesteela and Kieran Beck, basically the same, 3.25. Beedrill and Type Null, 3 2/3. Dragonite is at 4.4. That Great Comfy is at 4.5, and Mega Gardevoir is still at 6. Next up, we have the defensive leaders. We have 2 newcomers in the defensive leaders, Miltank and Tapu Fini, sitting at 28, separated by Death, not only Death, but also the Burn Poison. But Avalok is still on top of them both. Ow, as I do stab myself with a thumbtack. Porygon 2 is at 30, Pyukumuku 35, Cresselia 41, Zapdos 44, Blissey 47, Sylveon 56, and Type Null at 66. Over to the offensive league leaders, and yes, I am trying to rush this because I don't want to do this at the moment, but I really want to just get it over with. Crocodile, Kieran Black, and Celesteela sitting at 13 kills, separated by only Death, as you can see right here. Gardevoir, Tornadus T, and Terrakion, all at 14, again separated by just Death, and alphabetically. Lucario, Volcanion, separated by Death as well. Azumarill at 16.5, and Dragonite still sitting on top at 22.5. And here we are for a new segment I call the Mons of the Week, where I show you guys the top Mons of Week 10. And we have at number 3, Weavile, with the, I should have wrote this down. Charlotte Beedrills with We battle taking out 3 Mons. Next up from the Holland Heracross, we had the unlikely Ludicolo taking on 4, but did die once. But the number 1 of the week, it was hard to beat, but the Beedrill was able to do it with the Tentacools. Last but not least, I should have wrote this down. I will be right back. Okay, I do apologize about that. Last week we did, I did do pretty well, 6 and 4 that week. Make a grand total of 64 and 45. This week we're only doing 8 battles. 4 of them do not count because of disqualifications. But anyway, we have the Cortanas versus the Spin. That one's actually Cortanas versus the Spindas is disqualified from my contention. It can still go on if Hubi really wants to. I mean, I wouldn't really be surprised if he doesn't, because he's already eliminated from playoff contention. But anyway, Ninetales versus the Heracross. This one is actually very important. As of right now, Ninetales is out of a playoff spot. However, Cody is also trying to fight for the best position that he can. Also, he could also be eliminated from playoffs as well, and I know he definitely does not want that. It's going to be a very good battle, but I think this is going to go down to Ninetales picking up the win. Very good matchup in my opinion, but I just think Ninetales is going to fight a little bit harder than Cody is. But this one I could definitely be wrong, and there's actually a couple good matchups in this week, especially one coming up in a second. We have the Magikarps versus the Flygons, and I do believe that the Flygons are going to be staying on top of the league. Next up, we have the Arcanines versus the Registealers. This one is going to be my favorite of the week, and it's going to be great. I'm going to say that the Arcanines do pull out the win. They need to stay up right next to the Flygons in case the Flygons do mess up. Although it is very unlikely against the last 2 matches that he has. Tentacools versus the Lycanrocs. This is also another very good one. Lycanrocs trying to stay alive with the rest of them. And I do think, oh, excuse me, I did say Lycanrocs? I meant Tentacools. Although Lycanrocs could also be eliminated from playoff contention as well. Actually, wait. Dragons are done. Royals are done. Spindas are done. No. No. He can't be eliminated. No, he can't. I don't know. I don't think he can. I don't know. You guys figure it out yourself. But anyway, I do believe that the Tentacools are going to be able to pull out the win. He just needs to fight a little bit harder than the Lycanrocs do. Next up is the Gliscors versus the Rapidashes. Rapidash's season is not yet over. He's still fighting, but I don't think it's going to be enough against the red-hot Gliscors right now. Beedrills versus the Coilers, another great matchup. Another fantastic one. I can't wait to see this one. I do think that the Beedrills are going to pull off the win, however, but I would not be surprised if the Coilers pull out the win. As a matter of fact, this one is the second one that I would say, hey, I had to flip a coin. Next up, we have the Metagross versus the Starmies, and I know that the battle has already occurred. As Hubi, I did vote for Mike before the battle even began. Gudras versus the Infernapes. Mandy's just been red hot. She won 2, then lost 2, and then won every since. And I do think she's going to win this one as well. The last 2 battles, the Bouffalants and the Dragons, that one is not considered in contention. And the Illusions versus the Royals, that one is also not considered in contention. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Good luck in week number 12. Playoffs are literally around the corner. Good luck to you all.